Last Saturday, June 24th, we hiked Mount St Helens via the Worm Flows route. Technically, the Worm Flows route is the winter route. Usually you'd hike the Climbers Bivouac in the summer, but we had a pretty good snow year this year, so the road to the Climbers Bivouac remained closed. If you're looking for info on hiking the Climbers Bivouac, let me just say I've done that hike 3 different times. This is the first time I've done the Worm Flows route, but at the end of the day, both hikes are pretty similar. Lots of scrambling, lots of ash, lots of climbing. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go over the Worm Flows route, but you can definitely take bits and pieces of it to imagine what the Climbers Bivouac will be like. So with that said, let's get into the video of our 12-mile, 5,700 feet of elevation gain Mount St Helens hike. Since we were hiking on a Saturday, we spent Friday night camping right by the trailhead. We simply camped in the Marble Mountain Snow Park overflow lot, which is located right by the trailhead. Helens is a long hike with very minimal shade, so you want to get started early. We set our alarms for 4:30 a.m. and we are ready to go by 5:15 a.m. Before setting off on the trail, you'll need to register your group based on the name your permit is under. And yes, permits are needed to hike Helens. They're pretty easy to get, and you can learn more at the link in the description. Once you've registered, the Type 2 fun begins. The first 2 miles of the Worm Flows trail starts out relatively flat and shaded. You'll see a few different trails, but follow the signs and the blue trail markers and you'll easily find your way. On our hike, we hit our first patch of snow just after 1 mile in. Keep in mind, this was on June 24th after a very big snow year, so this wasn't too surprising, and it was super easy to walk along the snow patch at this point. At 2.2 miles and 860 feet of elevation into the hike, you'll emerge from the trees and get your first view of the mountain. For us, the sun was coming up over the ridge, burning off the fog and making for some beautiful scenery. As you continue hiking, you'll stroll alongside a small canyon with a waterfall and river flowing through. The trail gets a bit rockier at this point, and a small creek crossing is required. After crossing, you'll see a few signs for the Lewitt Trail, so make sure you follow the Worm Flow signs. At this point, the trees start to get much smaller, and your shade basically disappears. With the early morning start, we got some pretty cool views above the clouds. At about 3 miles in, the games really begin. The trail starts to get steeper, and you enter what we like to call Scrambletown, meaning big rocks and various different options for routes. At 3.4 miles, I hit about 2,000 feet in elevation, which leaves a lovely 3,700 feet for the next 2.6 miles. As you continue through Scrambletown, you'll walk along a ridgeline where a plateau taunts you about half a mile ahead as the perfect snack and refueling spot. At 3.8 miles and 2,500 feet of elevation, you can start to catch your first glimpses of Mount Adams to your right and Mount Hood directly behind you. The higher you go, the looser the footing gets, with leftover ash making it feel like you're trudging along slowly at times. At 4 miles and 2,900 feet of elevation, you'll hit the weather station, a perfect spot to grab a snack, reapply sunscreen, and take a well-earned breather. But as soon as you continue on, you're right back into Scrambletown. And at 4.3 miles, 3,200 feet of elevation, we hit a spot where the trail turned to snow, but this part was flat enough where crampons weren't needed yet. After crossing the snow patch, you could continue hiking up on the snow, or you could hop back onto the dirt. You can see that the snow has some very solid footholds. All right, 5 miles and 3,900 feet of elevation, 1 mile to go. At this point, you can continue on Scrambletown like I did, where the ash definitely gets a little difficult and slides down as you step on it. Or if you have crampons, like most of my group did, you could strap them on and walk up the snow. At this time of year, micro spikes totally work as well. Eventually, you'll get a clear view on what is the end of the road for the dirt patch, and at 5.5 miles and 4,600 feet of elevation, you'll hit the end of the dirt. As you can see, and as I mentioned previously, the snow has plenty of footholds from people walking both up and down, so it's really not too difficult to walk on, although obviously micro spikes or crampons would definitely help. As you walk up, keep an eye out for glissaders enjoying their way down, like this father and son crew. It doesn't take long to hike along the final snow patch, and as you get to the top of it, you'll see the home stretch to the summit. This is another great spot for one more break before completing the remaining 1,000 feet to the summit. For this final climb, we had the option of hiking on snow or dirt. If you have the proper gear, like crampons or micro spikes, as I mentioned. The snow is likely the better option, as you can get some more grip as compared to the ash, as every time you step on the ash, your foot is guaranteed to slide down a little bit. It's kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 steps back. Makes it a little bit more difficult. But hey, just keep on climbing and you're gonna be at that top before you know it. At the summit, you can take in views of Mount Hood, Adams, and Rainier. And of course, the crater left by the eruption of Helens is quite the crazy sight. Now enjoy some celebratory beverages and snacks up top. You've definitely earned it. My watch died about 10 minutes from the top, but we started the hike just before 6 a.m. and summited just after 11. So it was about 5.5 hours for us to reach the top. Now, on the way down, if there's enough snow, give those legs a rest and glissade down. Here's a little pro tip. Snow pants are definitely helpful for glissading down, and you'll want an ice axe or something similar to control your speed as you're going down the mountain. Or if you made it to the summit with your skis, enjoyed some well-earned turns like I did. Anyways, thanks for watching and good luck on your hike. Hit me with any questions, concerns in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. Cheers.